The dark underworld of time trialling is something that has a pretty huge presence within the British cycling scene, and the attention people pay to their bikes, all in an attempt to find the most speed possible, is incredible. However, elsewhere around the world, time trialling is less common, but instead, there's a huge focus on triathlons, and thus the use of the same bikes. Although some differences between time trial and triathlon bikes to make sure the former are UCI compliant, for the majority of us, meeting certain regulations isn't a problem, and so picking the fastest bike is something we can all jump at. With lots of brands updating their TT and Tri ranges to accommodate disc brakes, I thought it would be useful to run through the bike brands and show what they are offering for 2022 to help you pick your next speed cheating machine. I want to start with Pinarello, as their riders have proved to be the fastest all year long. With Ghana winning the World Champs, the Italian track team dominating the boards, and Canworth smashing Ironman courses, it only seems right to start with the fastest. Pinarello offer two very different options with their TT and Tri bikes, but firstly, let's discuss the Tri bike. The Bolide TR Plus is the bike that led Canworth to setting the Kona Ironman bike course record, and it's clearly a fast machine. But before I discuss this bike further, the price has to be mentioned. Pinarello don't actually offer a price directly from the site, but looking around, the frame set alone costs around £9,000 and a full build can be up towards £13,000. But if money isn't a concern, what do you get for this bike? Pinarello don't seem to have updated this version for 2022, and so the bike still has Dura-Race 9100 fixed to the frame. I would imagine this would be updated soon, but I've yet to see anything around on the market. So, for the moment, you get an 11-speed group set with a hydraulic disc brakes, which have got 160mm rotors front and back. Pinarello offers some of the finishing kit with their own in-house brand, Most, which provide the handlebars. I think these look a little outdated compared to the modern trend of new aero bar setups, and given the price of this bike, it's a shame. The wheels are Swiss Side 800 Hadron Ultimate disc wheels, which are 80mm deep. However, this is just going by the Pinarello website, and often what you can actually buy is different. There is a neat storage box above the bottom bracket, and also a large bento box on the top tube. It is certainly a bike that would see you around 180km Ironman bike leg very well, and is all in all a very impressive offering from Pinarello. Moving to their TT bike, Pinarello have the Bolide TT bike, which has been around for quite some time now. The image on the Pinarello website shows the Dura-Race 9000 group set, which is now 2 iterations old. Paired with that, very old Shimano Pro wheels, this is a bike that's probably due an update. Interestingly, Ineos has been added to the seat post, so clearly they're still trying to show it's an up-to-date bike. And the bike comes with the standard things you'd expect on a TT bike: integrated brake fairings, deep tube profiles, horizontal dropouts on the rear to allow the wheels to get as close as possible to the seat post. It's all the things you'd want from a top-end TT bike. Despite the design being a little old, it's still proving to be one of the fastest bikes in the pro peloton. But, much like the TR Plus, this isn't a cheap bike. At £11,000 for the frame set only, it's a big investment. Specialized offer different TT and Tri bikes too, and again these sit right at the top end of the market. The S-Works Shiv TT disc comes in at £11,999, but this potentially offers you some value for money. This comes in the form of the wheels that are provided, which are the CLX 64s, but also the Roval 321 disc is included. In reality, if you're buying this bike, then you will be racing, and a disc wheel is an absolute must. So I think it's quite a good thing that it's included in the package. The group set is a SRAM Red Axis 1 by with the power meter included. I couldn't find what size rotors came as standard on the bike, but regardless of size, the offering of disc brakes will make for much easier use on technical courses. Again though, this is a bike that is a couple of years old now, and so I'd expect a new version to be released shortly. And it's a similar story for the triathlon version, which is the S-Works Shiv disc. Starting at £11,500, this shares a similar profile to the TT version from the side, but looks very different head-on. The bike has a split fork design up to the base bar, which is certainly something very different to other offerings in the market. This does allow for neat solution of housing any cables and the drinking hose that runs down the down tube and all the way to the large fin on the rear. The down tube also offers plenty of room for storing spares and food, and there are also mounts on the top tube for a bento box. It's quite an impressive triathlon package. Unlike the TT version, it's just the CLX 64 wheels that are included, and there's no disc wheel. Additionally, like the TT version, there's a huge range of adaptability to the handlebar setup which should not go unnoticed. Getting a fit right on these bikes is very important, and a bike that makes that easy is a brilliant thing. But with options being sold out on the Specialized website, getting hold of one of these may be hard. Or is it that they're going to release a new version soon? BMC offered just one bike for TT and Triathlon. However, it's the position of the seat post that determines whether it is a TT or a tri bike. In the triathlon setup, there is a storage box located behind the seat tube, which is a big plus for triathletes everywhere as a way of carrying spares. However, if you require a TT bike, then the storage box can be removed and the seat post is inserted in replacement. This allows the saddle to fall within the UCI regulations behind the bottom bracket. There are additional bolts on the top tube for a bento box to be attached, but otherwise this is a fairly TT specific bike. There is no integrated drinking solution, which is a shame, but unnecessary for a bike that's predominantly a TT bike. Much like other bikes already mentioned, it's got disc brakes and 160mm rotors front and back. Interestingly, the top offering by BMC is adorned with SRAM Force axis in a 2x setup, which has a 4835 up front and a 1028 on the rear. But this front chainring is pretty small for time trialling, and it's also interesting that they don't offer a Dura-Race or a SRAM Red offering. Despite this, the price comes in at around £7,000 to £8,000, which is good value when compared to other bikes on the market. It comes with DT Swiss Arc 1650 wheels, which is 62mm at the front and 80 on the rear. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything that really sets this bike apart from the others, but would still be a really good option if you're looking for a new bike. So that ends part 1 of this video series. Make sure to like and subscribe, and also head over to the Bike Catalogue website so you can see more details about these bikes and other TT and Tri bikes available. Also, press the bell icon so you get notified for part 2 being released.